Welcome back, everyone. I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE. We're live all week here in the New York Stock Exchange. Our CUBE set on the East Coast with the NYSE Wired community, an open community that's been formed by theCUBE and the NYSE coming together, bringing the experts on, discussing all the top breakthroughs. Of course, we've got our Palo Alto studio, linking tech and Wall Street together. This week we're focused on robotics and AI leaders, and we got a great discussion here around how unattended retail with robotics is changing the game. It will be the future. Shahan Ohanessian with VenHub. Exciting, can't wait to talk about this. Welcome to theCUBE.
Thank you very much.
So you give us a quick demo. I just want to go to the quick shot to the iPad here. This is a map of the United States, and it's got green dots. These are all the orders you have.
Yes.
Right now, over $400 million worth of orders. You've created a breakthrough where you've created a self-contained, fully autonomous retail system and packaged goods today.
Yes.
That has no attendance. That's unattended retail. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So you got a lot of backlog.
That is true.
So take us through what's going on. Tell us what you guys have and why is it so successful?
So I reached out to our team initially a few years ago and I said, look, we have smart cars, we have smart homes, we have smartphones, but we don't have smart retail. And retail is suffering. And they said, what do you have in mind? And I said, I need a store that is extremely smart, very attractive as VenHub is, incredibly intelligent, and super customer friendly, and it's available 24/7, and has all the security systems in place. And I went through a list of 10 items that I wanted in every vertical. And my team said, this doesn't exist, we're not doing this. So I said, great, this is day one, let's start. Yeah. And that was our day one, and we started the journey. And today, when we put the button in for this pre-order, we were shocked. The reception the public gave us, the amount of the pre-orders that we received, is validating what the world is requesting and is needing, and is definitely what the world of the economy is going through. This minimizes crime, recovers from all the labor cost challenges, and being open 24/7, and being able to provide constant, continuous, perfect service to the customer.
And you sell these to entrepreneurs or small, medium-sized enterprising business owners. They buy it, they own it. It's not like a franchise, you get a SaaS fee, so you get a little cloud. We'll come back to the Amazon experience in a second. And they just put it in place and they're responsible for the goods, or they can go through replenish service. So turnkey, convenience store. You had a phrase before we came on camera, you said it's like the marriage between, explain, what was the description, how you gave it?
Imagine having a vending machine getting married to a retail store and having a genius baby. And this is our genius baby.
Yeah.
And that's what we call VenHub, is the smart genius baby.
So a robotic arm basically treats like a vending machine, all the goods are there, people can see everything, but this intelligence built into the robotics with vision.
That's correct.
It knows what to get when, and puts it on the counter, drops down, all mechanical, autonomous, they pay, they get their goods. Robots are smart. They also keep track of the inventory. They get analytics.
Exactly.
Sounds like a cloud play. You must know a little bit about Amazon, but that's what it's doing. It's got a robotic arm, it's got technology built into it. Explain some of the tech.
So technically I'll walk through the experience of the user. The user goes in and their mobile app places an order and then presents themselves. We have obviously some age restricted product, they have to do the age verification with that. But once the transaction is completed, then we can go ahead and provide the products to the store, to the consumer. But what that does, now we're learning what you would like to get next time you're at the store. We also are building data for what sells in January versus what sells in June. Next week is going to be a warm day. You as a store owner should stock more water versus less water because it's going to be a warm day. So all these analytics and all these data are being built, and these stores are becoming smarter and smarter to a point that you don't even have to think anymore to what to stock.
Convenience store married to a vending machine with a brain like a genius. Love that description, it intersects. Yeah, one of the things, Shahan, is that in these robotics conversations we're having with all the leaders on the CUBE and NYSE Wired is the confluence of tech, money, and culture are coming together. There's a couple things going on here I want to get your reaction to. One is the motivation to do this is not just for profit. there's also other motivating factors, cultural. Gated communities want to keep it inside their gates so their kids don't go outside, maybe crime in certain areas or just convenience. There is a lot of motivations here, not just money making.
That's absolutely true.
Share what you're seeing with this trend.
So we hear from a lot of our customers from where they want their kids to have a control space and not to be exposed to outside facilities, and they want to have ability to watch what the kids are buying. So now they can control that process and have visibility to it. There are certain areas that they have small population. They're not interested in the store as a profit center, but when they have 400 members of the community living in a certain small city, they want to have that. I shared with you, we had a situation where in our leadership, we take 1 out of 10 customer service calls, and there was a couple who called, and they spoke Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish, so we kind of talked a little bit, and then I was telling them about the store a little bit, and mom starts crying, and I'm thinking, oh God, did I say something wrong? And so the dad said, give me a minute. They got back on the phone, and I said, I'm sorry if I said something wrong, and they said, no. We had a convenience store, our son got shot a year ago, and mom was crying saying, God, why didn't VenHub exist a year ago? Yeah. So all the privileges of having the large companies approach us, we're honored, we're privileged, we're excited about it, but we're also as a duty to the community to provide a safe, secure places to work in and interact with. Those are what keeps us up, makes us work 16, 17, 18 hours a day.
Like I said, this whole new wave of entrepreneurship has got a cultural for good, but it's not a non-profit. We still want to make money. We've seen that with theCUBE as well. It's like you can sidecar all these, and you can still do good with making money. And I think this is a great example because it's a cultural shift, because there was no unattended retail in the past. And so that always begs the question. I know I've said this a zillion times, I'm sure you have too, and you've probably heard this. You're walking in the city, you're somewhere, coming back from the gym, man, I wish there was I could get a protein drink now, or I wish I could get a bottle of Gatorade. So the notion of convenience shifts. It's not like the old days of, oh, I got to own a store, I got to run it. You could literally drop in for $250,000 a structure, and it's like local business.
Exactly.
And in areas that the local business knows is convenient. Hey, we know this is a place where there's a hair shop and a beauty shop and an Equinox gym or whatever, and we know this would be the perfect spot because there's foot traffic and a couple parking spaces available.
Yeah, it takes 3 parking spots, so you're absolutely correct. When we drop it in certain locations, the community is benefiting from it, but there's also the reverse side of it is where if the shopping centers are not getting enough traffic, the store is so attractive, it's so smart, it's so cool to interact with, it's bringing traffic. So the existing merchants are also benefiting from the smart stores coming to it.
I mean, people, who doesn't love convenience? You know, Amazon has just walk out before, it's called Amazon Go. I know you have pedigree from Amazon. Share your background, because there is kind of a reason how you got here. You had Amazon experience in multiple aspects of the business. You have some Amazon leaders in your company board. So there's some Amazon DNA in here. Share, because I think that's a relevant, because Amazon's done an amazing set of work, you know, plowing the fields, got the scar tissue. I'm sure you got some from living the every day's day one. You mentioned day one, I'm like, oh, he worked at Amazon. No one says that unless they worked at AWS. Day one is an Amazon reference, to Jeff Bezos, and now Andy Jassy's every day is day one, which is be entrepreneurial. What's the Amazon story? How did you get here?
So we were involved in the early stages, early 2010s, in the logistics side of it, the delivery side of it, and we became a very large partner of Amazon. They had a lot of trust in us because we took a project and made it successful, and then there's some certain areas of challenges, whatever that division was, we worked with them. And so we built an amazing partnership, and through that amazing partnership, we built a lot of relationship, and that's why some of our board members are Amazonians.
But did you work at Amazon?
I was on the vendor side of it.
Okay, so you worked with Amazon, which they're very particular about.
Very much so.
If you're a strategic vendor.
That is correct. And like alcohol deliveries of Amazon, we were the ones who were in charge of it because they wanted to be white gloved and they wanted to make sure it was done the right way. So we were involved in that, and we made sure it was successful before it was released to the public. So, but those privileges or those disciplines, the same disciplines that we have right now at VenHub. So we're launching, we're wanting to have it, make sure it's fully controlled. We want to make sure that the Amazon story, VenHub story, if the consumer is satisfied, you're making the consumer happy, they will come. So that's one of those things that we learned from there when we're implementing
and
it.
you made it really good. People are waving to the arms and soon to be humanoids, I'd imagine. But the convenience is about the transaction. It's smooth, it's elegant, and it's kind of cool to get served by a robot. I mean,
exactly.
It's people got their cell phones out doing selfies. I mean, this is the cultural impact of this generation. I mean, doing selfies. Hey, I got a robot just served me. Like, it's like, we had horse and buggy. Look at, there's a car, right? I mean, like, in a way, that's what's happening.
That's true. And we've had situations where you see a grandpa and a grandson walking by, and grandpa's downloading the app, and the grandson picks up the phone, and then just orders it because it's a second
Thanks,
language.
Grandpa, for putting your credit card down.
Yeah, but for the newer generation, for the younger generation, it's not a new language for them.
Yeah.
That's the world they live through.
Yeah.
We also had situations where we had a situation where mom and some beautiful young girl that was going to school, they stopped by to pick up something before the school, and then they went back and sat in the car, and then you see mom and the young girl, maybe she was 8 years old, she ran back to the store and she hugged the store because she loved the experience. And that's the loving experience. And our vertical today is the convenience store. The second vertical, it could be smart lockers, it could be prescription deliveries, it could be auto parts, it could be flowers. Anything as the vision system grows and our muscles within our system grows, like Amazon was books, then digital music and so on and so forth, we're building our muscle for other verticals.
There's a lot of leverage in the operation.
Yes.
Operational consistency. Talk about some of the business momentum. How many stores are these stores out there now? Like I said, we showed the graph of the backlog. You got orders. I mean, now you got success. Now you got to execute or die. I mean, it's day one, like you said. What are some of the stats?
Well, die is not an option.
Of course.
I'm super competitive,
Okay.
so that's not an option. So how do we grow? First, we got to go smart, and we got to grow, make sure the brand is there. So we've always been transparent with our customers. Let us take a couple of baby steps, and then we'll take a little bit bigger steps. And our customers are super fans, and they're loyal to us, so they're allowing us to take our baby steps and we learn from it. So those are opportunities that we have to increase our muscle strength. From that point forward is, from day one when we started, we started the process is, I told our team, I want a sexy store to be similar to an Apple product. So I want a very, very attractive store. But I also want it to be a McDonald's repeatability. Because you get a McDonald's in Seattle versus Boston versus New York, it's going to be the same McDonald's.
Some consistency in large franchises like this, although it's not a traditional franchise, you monetize differently than that.
Exactly.
They can just buy it right out.
Exactly, and we install it for them. So if you happen to be one of the installers for VenHub, and so am I, and you're the greatest installer, and I'm the worst installer, we can't be any different because the vision system doesn't allow you to make mistakes. The AI vision system says, hey Shahan, this angle is not right, you got to do it the right way. So that's what we are striving for, is amazing store, amazing beautiful store, amazing technology, and then being able to rapidly grow. So the rapid growth is not an issue, but the technology has to grow with it, and we're working our butts off to make it happen.
Take me through some of the economics. $250K base cost to get a store.
Yes.
There's a SaaS fee. That's kind of the investment side. Very kind of low bar. Not a lot of money considering what the upside is. What is the upside? What are some of the average sell-throughs you're seeing? Have you looked at some of the unit economics for the owner? If I did this, I mean, I could see a place in Palo Alto would be perfect. Right next to the high school, obviously. Or Stanford's right there, right? So, I mean, obviously, that means, but they got town and country. But anyway, what's the economics on the sell-through? See, prepackaged goods, so not a lot of issues with, food and health and safety, Board of Health or whatever. So it's all clean. What's the numbers look like? Can you share some of the things that people can expect? When's the payback on the investment? What are some of the data look like?
Right, that's a great question. So it all depends on the location. And why you're putting the store into that location. So we have certain stores that are making several $1,000s a day. So the break even is around $200,000 a year. So several thousand a day, you can do the math. They're making a lot of profits. because the profit margin on the store, there's no cost of employees, there's no workman's comp, there's no shrinkage, there's no theft because it's bulletproof glass, the steel framing, so no one's getting in there. So it's purely just based, you buy a product for $1 and sell it for $1.30, that's your 30% profit margin. There are certain stores that are in communities where maybe it's a rougher community where they don't want to be open 24 hours, where before they were only working 8 hours because of the roughness of the area, but now they can be open 24 hours because the robots are fully secured and the framing is fully secured. So every store has its own history and its own foot traffic, its own economics, but ultimately whatever you look at the math works out substantially better than an existing retail. And whether we like it or not in this world, in the next 5 years to 10 years, unattended retail is going to be dominating all retail.
Yeah, it's a great category. Unattended retail definitely is here because there are situations for all the reasons you mentioned, cost, but for the boutiques, yeah, those humans will still be there. Let's talk about the what your goals are, because now that you got the momentum, you got the backlog, you got a lot of pressure, profit's going to be great, so congratulations on that. Any competition coming in? Any signs of barriers? Your margin is my opportunity, I've heard that before. How are you looking at the competitive barriers? Is it the tech? Is there a moat here? I mean, it sounds like there's obviously robotics, that's a breakthrough. Computer vision, cloud, SaaS, analytics. Where's the secret sauce?
The combination of all that is secret sauce. We have multiple patents, in 30 plus patents that we have. We're building that out. Several of our large worldwide clients have done their due diligence. There's nothing in the back coming behind us. And if they do, great. We shouldn't be focusing on what's in the rearview mirror. We should be focusing on our own destiny. How do we make ourselves better? How do we make ourselves stronger? How do we make our customers more satisfied? How do we make our owners more profitable? And if we accomplish that, the rest doesn't matter.
And what's your vision? As you said, you use multiple acts here. Act one is take baby steps, get the beachhead, add some other things like pharmacy. Is there a bigger vision that you have?
Yeah, so on the fixed store, which we're witnessing today, is our convenience store. Then we'll go to smart pharmacies, smart lockers, smart auto parts, smart beauty supplies, and so on and so forth. The second SKU of the business will be a mobile SKU, where lots of sports arenas, concerts, events are reaching out saying, hey, give me a solution. We love your solution. We want unattended retail, but today in the morning we have this event, so we want this product. In the evening we have that event, we want that product. So we can switch that product on the spot without having to change a whole bunch of stuff.
And that's the vending machine side of it. Dynamic, agile.
Right.
But the physical unattended, that's the wheelhouse.
Exactly, and in a very small confined space, we can carry 500 to 900 SKUs, where if you had to build a 900 SKU facility, it'll cost you $1.5 million or plus a couple more years and a boatload of attendees, where we don't have to deal with that at all. We can get it done, installed within 5 days.
So let's just say I want to drop this into Palo Alto.
Yes.
My hometown. I got to come up with $250K, which, Palo Alto's a lot of investors there, potentially hit, or myself. What does it look like? Do I drop ship in? Am I drop shipping in a container? Is it self-contained? Is it built on site? What's the footprint? It's because you have an Apple store look, vibe to it. Okay, I saw the product. What does the deployment look like, and how fast do I get up to speed? What's the playbook? So give me the workflow.
Great question. So you let us know you want a store, and assuming you're in the pipeline that already the queues
we'll
up.
Cut the line.
Yeah.
Like
so we bring the store to your facility shrunk wrap with the housing is collapsible, and then the robots are delivered at the same time. The installation process takes about 4 days. Calibration takes about a day. Final day of testing, and literally within the 7th day, we're having grand opening for you. It's never been done in history, but you can go from 0 to hero in 7 days. And that's from the day one of operations, 7 days into the dropship.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just kind of another technical question on the AI. Is it limited to the packaged goods that you mentioned, convenience store? Let's just say Palo Alto's got a unique culture. People like to buy tech there. Can I just put a couple iPhones in there and swap out Doritos? I mean, sounds like there's a shelf space constraint, but it's bigger than most. Do I have to train the AI to know that can I manage inventory myself, or is that?
In the future, you can globally manage the inventory. Today, we have a limited inventory you can manage, but our stores in North Hollywood have phone chargers, and they have a bunch of different batteries and lights and so on and so forth.
They do put all the stuff in there.
They all have different bunch of stuff in there. But as our system grows, our vision system grows, our inventory model grows, and literally the store will tell you, it's Saturday, I sold more batteries, so at night when everybody's sleeping, it'll put the battery in front. If the window's dirty, it'll clean up the window, so when there's no customers.
The arm literally does the inventory placement.
Yes.
Or stocking strategies.
Yes.
Shelf strategies.
Yes. And that's the long-term vision, is to have a truly
That's the genius part of the marriage.
That's correct.
Convenience store and vending machine have a baby, and it's a genius.
Genius baby.
All right, what's the plans for funding for you guys? Obviously, every banker must be banging on your door. You got orders. You can finance those orders. You have backlog. What's your strategy relative to financing? I know you did a crowdfunding. You guys did some self-funding, right, on the initial stage?
Yes.
Are you at profitable now? Obviously, you got orders, they prepay. I mean, give me some of the data.
There's prepayment coming in from the pre-orders. We are profitable, we don't lose money. I don't know how to run a negative business, so we've been always profitable. Obviously not through the R&D side, but the minute we start deploying the stores, we're profitable. Our vision is to be a public company. We made an announcement that we want to be a public company. We're looking at different strategies. Fortunately, like you said, people are approaching us more than us approaching them, and that's an honor and privilege, and we don't take it lightly. We're not abusing it, but we owe it to our consumers, we owe it to our store owners, we owe it to our crowdfunding shareholders to do the right thing, and not for the short term, but the long-term vision. This is a dominating industry, and it's a groundbreaking industry that's going to be, it's not only here for the weeks or years to come, it's going to be for the centuries to come. And how do we lead that world?
And you guys have a lot of brand awareness with those kinds of dots I saw all over the United States. Obviously major convenient areas to be had, low cost to get into the business, obviously upside. Do you guys could look at competing, kind of overlaying kind of the geo space, like, okay, I got 5 clusters going on there, neighborhood saturated. I'm just getting ahead of myself here, but I wanted to kind of go down that.
That's a great question. So we're not going to oversaturate the territory. We're going to allow space for that store owner. In Manhattan, being 5 blocks away, that's more than enough, for example.
That's a desert.
Right.
If you want that Gatorade or protein drink.
Right.
But there's like 5 gyms too, by the way, going around here too.
But in certain cities, 5 blocks away, it's really next door to each other.
Yeah.
So we have all the analytics. We'll continue working with the analytics. We'll work with our customers. Besides having this consumer being happy, our success is making our customers, the owners being happy.
And then the end user customer.
Right.
All right, so now my final question on the kind of like getting my whole deep dive due diligence here from me buying the stock when you go public is, okay, VenHub, great brand name, VenHub, Ven Convenient Hub, whatever you want to call it, whatever name will help people work on that. But what if I wanted to do a CUBE store and rebrand it theCUBE?
Yes.
Do you allow rebranding or co-branding or?
100%.
So you do?
Yeah, it's your choice. It's your store, you're buying it. If you want to call it VenHub, obviously we have certain requirements you have to follow.
Image mark, probably some attribution.
Exactly. And also to do with cleanliness and keep and so on and so forth. But if you want to have the CUBE Hub, for example, then it's your store. We'll deliver to you. You'll give us your brand logo and stuff, and we'll have it installed for you. You'll choose whether you want it blue or green or whatever color you want.
Yeah.
And we'll get it. The app will also be white labeled for you, but you'll be in the app store within our app.
Yeah, I mean, Ken, we're going to get this into Vegas. We're going to go to the same venues, like Moscone, Javits. A little penetration of the CUBE inside those venues.
And when we're coming, shortly we'll be announcing our Vegas deployment within the next week or so.
So you have one going on in Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Can you give us a little teaser on where on the strip it is, or?
Good places.
Well, thank you for coming on theCUBE, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Great to have you
so
part
much.
of our CUBE.
Appreciate it.
And the NYSE Wired networking community. It's an open community of experts like yourself, so really appreciate you, one, sharing the story, and I love the breakthrough. Again, unattended retail, everyone's talking about it, but nobody's doing it. Arm today, humanoid tomorrow maybe?
Of course.
I mean, come on, now you can bow in Japan if you want to, shake hands, high five, wave to the crowd.
And also that's the humanoid where you can take existing retail and convert it to the humanoid. So lots of opportunities. This is a great venue, amazing tour, amazing space. Congrats on the broadcast.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to do it again with you.
Yeah, I can't wait either. Great to keep in touch, great to know you. Again, entrepreneurship, we've been saying this, new opportunities are emerging, whether it's manufacturing, retail, software development, as with agentic systems, robotics and AI, is actually a cultural shift as well as a technology revolution. Again, opportunities are everywhere. And of course theCUBE Hub coming soon, retail, buy some CUBE mugs maybe, that's coming soon. Well, thanks for watching. Again, we're here at the NYSE Live. I'm John Furrier, your host of theCUBE. Thanks for watching.